Hi, my name is Abu Francis, and I am really excited to show you a brief idea about this latest version of TAD, which is version 6.8.02. So this version is actually quite a important milestone in the whole journey of TAD. TAD, as you know, started many years back, and I've been continuously working on it to help architects all over the world to come up with better designs. The mission of TAD is to allow architects to very coherently talk not just about the final building, but even the why of that design. Why did they make that design the way they did? So that those records can be available for future generations. Let me not make this particular video very long. It's quite late and I'm very excited, so I thought I must make a very short video and explain to you the core points which makes it really now very powerful. And a lot of things which comes into TAD comes after a lot of really serious investigations and checking all kinds of things, and therefore I hope you can pardon my excitement. So let me begin. If you start a new TAD model, the core difference which you'll see now, there are a few differences from the earlier version, but the core difference which you'll see now is one additional menu item called export as code. And this is a very big innovation. In fact, I suspect that this approach of how I've done the programming for this software is actually not seen in practically no other software. I mean, this is my honest opinion. I would love to see any other software which uses this approach. And the approach is like this, that suppose you use any software, say you use AutoCAD or use Revit or whichever software which you use, what it does is it does two things to help you improve the usage of that particular software. So it'll say, okay, you have developed a drawing in AutoCAD. Now you may want to work on it further using some other software and all that. So you will export that particular file, say a DWG file, into a DXF file, and then that DXF file goes somewhere else and somebody else picks it up, and maybe somebody else who's a software developer can further work on that particular DXF file. Now all that actually ends up with that software developer having to write the code to actually pull in that DXF file, and then it goes into that guy's software and he has to process it and all kinds of things. The second thing which software companies do, which TAD also does, is to have an internal system of scripting. Okay, so in AutoCAD there is Autolisp. I am not very sure whether Revit has any internal scripting system, but it has some other kind of extensions which I think you can write in IronPython and .NET and things like that. What I have done, and this is really for the first time in the world I think it has happened, is that the entire TAD model, whatever you have developed, is now, it is possible now to export that along with some source code for processing it. I mean, this is absolutely, if you know programming, this is a very good advantage. So instead of saying that, okay, here is a TAD file and we'll export it to some other file, and you are a software developer, you pick up that file and then process it and so on and so forth. Here, this export as code, let me click that, it can actually start, you can export it to any of these languages which you see here. So you can export it to something called HAX or JavaScript or PHP or Python or Lua. Imagine this, instead of having a file, a data file which other software developer has to then work on, this gives the data embedded inside their computer language which that software developer may want to use. Now just hold your opinion for a moment and I'll explain to you the fineness behind this. Coming back to that point about every software, every intelligent software has got its own customization system, which is a scripting system usually. like Autolisp, for example. Even TAD has that. It is called Ardella. The scripting language inside TAD is called Ardella. It's a language which I invented, which is based on a popular AI language called Prolog. Now, the word AI often frightens people and say, oh, I can't do that, it is too tough. And that's a separate debate. I don't want to mystify AI or anything like that. Now, Ardella is extremely powerful. In fact, there will be certain situations which possibly you would want to do only in Ardella, and I'll probably address that later. Unfortunately, Prolog and this whole thing about mystery about AI and all, it gives a feeling that, this is not addressable by me. I won't be able to really enhance and further the use of TAD. Now, why are these scripting languages given? So that you can actually do more complicated calculations. Say you want to do energy calculations, you want to do acoustic calculation. You can do. There are a million calculations which needs to be done in architecture, but never really gets done, and that is one of the points which TAD addresses. So I started thinking that if only Ardella was there, then it is limiting the number of people who can add extensions to that. So last couple of years, I've been observing a new development on the internet. Not more than that, actually, more than few years. I think 7-8 years. There is a project called HAXE, H-A-X-E. And I've been looking at it and trying to see whether it's becoming mature. There are several such very interesting, important projects going on in the world. HAXE is one of them. And finally, in version 4, which they have just released, HAXE is coming up with serious advantages for projects like TAD. So what I did is that I have recoded an important part of TAD in such a way that you can you, meaning the architects who's designing something with TAD, they can actually use this particular feature of export or compile TAD model to code, and then export everything which has been designed in many different languages. So you can go to Python, JavaScript, Lua, C++, C#. I mean, practically every possible language is supported, every possible popular language, pardon me. In fact, I may even add some more. Now that I've developed this strategy, I probably will add some of my own, which is not even using HAXE. But that's for later. This itself is about 9-10 languages to which TAD can export to. Now, imagine the power of this. Now, you're an architect. You worked on, say, an auditorium project in TAD. And now you want to do acoustic calculations on it. But you don't have the capability as a software developer to do acoustic calculations. So what you did, you got a software developer and said, okay, why don't you add this particular functionality of checking the acoustics, say reverberation ratio or something like that. In fact, TAD was used for one simple acoustic analysis for Konkan Railway long time back. That's the old version of TAD. Anyway, so what happened is that other person will say, but I don't know Ardella. I do not know how to code in Ardella. And then you're stuck. But now you can ask that software developer, you want it output in Python, Lua, C++, C#, what do you want? Java, here it is. Here is a code for you, and that code goes to that software developer. He adds his additional part about acoustic analysis or whatever which needs to be done, and there you have it. Suddenly you have a way to enrich the usage of TAD beyond TAD. So there can be software developers who are good in Python or in C++ or even Flash. It actually exports to Flash. Flash has got a pretty clever version of JavaScript called ActionScript, and it exports to that. So what happens is the potential of utilizing TAD for in many different ways is become very, very high. So this is a very key feature of version 6.8, and I hope you use this. TAD, as you know, is free from version 7. I'm trying to make it an open source system, but I've not yet got a very good match for the internal Ardella scripting which I've invented, because I have to reinvent that in whatever new system which I will have for the open source version. But I'm pretty committed to getting it in open source. If this works better than Ardella, maybe I'm not sure how it will work, because Adala itself is a very powerful system. And there's some reasons why you may want to code in Adala, like what I told earlier. Let me explain that. What happens is, some of the projects which an architect works on, they are pretty secretive, right? I mean, you're doing a consulate, or you're designing a prison, or these kind of projects. You cannot take your data and just generally give it around to people. That's why TAD has got an amazingly powerful digital rights management system, which I've not really explained. Let me not digress there. So your project file of your office, it is extremely difficult for somebody else to steal it and then start using it. Now, if you want to enhance that, whatever model you have done, you may not want to give that model in whichever way, not even through this source code. So in such a case, you bring the mountain to the Muhammad, as the saying goes. So you have to then plug in, if you see here, you have to plug it into this system, and it will land up here. Let me close this dialog. So it will land up here, and these plugins are written from outside, plugged into the system, and then you can actually do certain additional calculation, which is for your specific project, whose data you don't want to give to anybody. So for example, this has got one nice FSI calculator, which is really very powerful, and there are several other examples here. So in such a case, Adala is the only way to really do this, and Adala being an AI language, it's extremely terse and extremely rich in its capabilities. But then there is this slight misunderstanding that, I can't learn Adala and all that. I know JavaScript, or I know Python, or something of that sort. Well, I've now catered to that also. So you are now got a whole set of options by which you can really take advantage of TAD. I don't want to get into what TAD really does. It is meant for architects, and it allows people to work on their projects right from very early stages of design. Now, let me clarify one misunderstanding which people sometimes have. When architects look at TAD, established architects or people who are just about to be established, what they do is that they say, oh, okay, new software, it is free. Fine, I'll just take this and I'll ask my man in my office to go and use it. It's not meant for them. TAD is meant for people like me. I am the main architect of my office. I don't have much time. So I don't want to get into a software which has got lots and lots of different things to learn and stuff like that. Instead, I quickly work out the design, manage it pretty well, and then hand over that TAD file to my junior. So TAD is actually meant for the top guys in the office, not the guys at the lower level. So if you are an architect who gets impressed by the concepts of TAD and say, okay, I'll just hand it over to somebody. Look at me, I am 59 years old. Because of this COVID, probably I look like a sage or something, I don't know. Anyway, I'm a little excited, so please pardon me. So what happens is that if you were to look at this software, TAD, as if like it is something your juniors have to use, it will not work out. Most of the time it won't work out. TAD is for those guys who can steal some half an hour from here and there and go designing. You must understand that a lot of the small and medium-sized architects' offices, especially in developing countries, this is meant for that lot of architects. They are all firefighting. They're running after their clients, they're running to a construction site, they're supervising some interior. Now they are pretty talented in designing, but their main work goes into management activities. And because of that, they're not really designing. And that reduces the quality tremendously. So what TAD does is that it gives that guy, okay, he's got half an hour or so. So he comes to the office, and that's the way I used to work. Now I'm concentrating mainly on TAD because I believe this really is taking off and it is helping a lot of people. But when I had my architectural practice, that's what my work was. I was not really in a position to sit continuously and design. So I used to, chase clients and chase bills and settle disputes somewhere and go to the government municipal office and just sit there just because that guy wanted. This is the life of such architects, right? And finally I'll get about half an hour, 2 hours maximum in my office. So what do? I use TAD and then flesh out the design, and then I am pretty sure that whatever comes out of TAD will be pretty accurate, seriously accurate. So that is the nature of this beast. You have to use it like that. It's not at all difficult to use TAD. It's just that you have to open your mind and say, okay, you know what, we were not born with AutoCAD, we were not born with Revit, we were not born with any of them, we were not even born with TAD. So this is a tool which has been designed so that you can still be a tool maker. That means you can further code further on it. There are several other things which I have implemented here, but I think I'll reserve that for later. This itself has, I think, become a little long. It's over 15 minutes or so. So I hope you got that. You just have to use this particular code and then you give it to your software developer. It's as simple as that. And it's I'll set up some good examples. You know, you want to develop virtual reality applications. This will be dead easy now. You want to develop augmented reality applications. You want to develop all kinds of things. You can develop websites for this for all I know, because you can export it as PHP. You can export it as JavaScript. I mean, the whole problem has been split wide open, and some amazing solution has just appeared here. So I hope you'll spread the news. TAD is free. It's available at teamtad.com, and lots of people all over the world are using. I hope all of you remain safe and protected in this pandemic. I hope we all come out of it as really better human beings. Thank you so much.